Alright, hi, my name is John Urick, and today we were talking about the integration of fine arts and the arts in our classrooms and why it's important, and just some of the findings of some of the research that have led to more successful classrooms, more energetic classrooms, and also kind of the decline of fine arts in some of our education. Um, As of right now, fine arts programs are being cut all over the country in many school districts, partially because of just more emphasis on reading and math and other subjects, as we'll get into a little bit later. But as you can see in California, 61% of K through 12 schools do not have one full-time arts specialist, and that's from a scholarly writer named Roulette who did a lot of research on ELL students, English language learners, and how just the integration of the arts can help them learn English faster, whether it's studying nonverbals, being theatrical, applying things to music, using art. She does a great study on, just how important it can be, especially for those ELL students. Also in California, 89% of those schools fail to offer a standard-based course of study in music, visual arts, theater, and dance, and that is actually all four of those subjects. So again, we're integrating the arts some. We're still having music, arts, theater classes, but it's not all inclusive, and it's not happening everywhere, primarily in the state of California. Why advocate? What can be done here? Since the No Child Left Behind Act in 2001, obviously more focus has been placed on reading and math. I feel like this tends to have teachers really concentrate on the tests. We tend to teach toward the test instead of teaching thinking, learning, critical thinking, letting the students be creative in their learning, and also trying to teach and apply to all walks of students from all walks of life, and really try to appeal to what makes them tick. Obviously, we want to be fun. We want to keep these students engaged, and we have to use things like rhythm and dance and music to grab those students' attention, and also to help them remember and appeal to all their senses. So what can happen? Obviously, when we engage students in our classrooms, we are trying to connect with them on their level. Students love to get up and move. They love to dance. They love to sing. They like to get out of their chair, especially when we ask them to. So we have to use these things. And I think what you'll see happen is students enjoying being in your classroom. And if they enjoy you, then they'll trust you, and hopefully they'll learn from you. Students also, by just incorporating movement, whether it's a hand gesture to get them to remember something, they can create a deeper understanding for what's being taught and what material is being used. Another thing we can do as far as letting the students create things, especially sculptures, songs, dances even, it's going to make it meaningful to them. They will remember something they created more than something that we just tell them to do. Students like to have things that are tangible, things they can see, feel, touch, and also hear. And so putting those little things in their brain can really be beneficial. In my unit for this class, I did 4th grade social studies unit on the branches of government, and students are learning about all the branches of government. We'll take a field trip to the capital here in Kansas, Topeka, visit all that kind of stuff. But in the first lesson I did, they're concentrating on the legislative branch. They had a writing assignment about laws, and asking them, their assignment was, what laws would you propose if you were in Congress? This lesson also had a read aloud about the legislative branch and what their job is. The group assignment for kids who are really into words and use words well, to have the students in small groups come up with haiku poems about something they learned. And I think that's a great way for some students to express themselves, even though it's a few words, but they're able to use those words and think critically and be clever. And that's what I like to see. The next lesson was just examining the Constitution further, breaking down all three um, branches of government, and this one is actually focusing more on the Constitution and how our country came about. We want the students to know kind of the groundwork that our founding fathers laid for us. The preamble is really cool, something that we want the kids to know, especially in fourth and fifth grade. So in this particular lesson, we wanted them to rewrite the Constitution in a writing assignment using a thesaurus to help it make sense to them in their language, words that they understand. But also, we want them to know the preamble, and so we used Schoolhouse Rock's video to kind of put that song in their head. Part of the assignment was have them, by using that song, they could either sing it back to us or just recite it word for word, the preamble part of the Constitution. So that's just an example of using music to help memorize a song or a statement. The next one was a WebQuest assignment, and this is kind of cool, like trying to integrate arts with technology, which is so important today. So WebQuests are kind of cool way for kids to get on their laptops or iPads and do their assignment on their own with all the instructions right there for them. So the group activity with that was to research the branch of government. The teacher was going to give examples of each, and groups were going to come up with poster boards to display what they learned about their particular branch that they're assigned to, whether it be the judicial, executive, or legislative branch. Within their group, we'll give them clay, and they can sculpt symbols to represent something they learned about their branch of government. It could be a flag, it could be a crest, an eagle if they were really good. I mean, just giving them that creative opportunity, and they can do more than one per group. And then they love to share things with the class. So just giving them that creative opportunity, gets them excited. The kids that aren't interested in the poster board and presenting can sculpt, or you'll find gifts, especially in large groups like that. Certain students will be more apt to want to do certain parts of it. So in my unit here, I try to use three types of arts. Obviously poetry, using the haikus, sculpting with the clay and making the symbols and things, and then using song lyrics to help them remember something that's very important to our country, how we got here, and how we're going to move forward. So those are the three. I know that I didn't have any dance, but I'm a big advocate for getting kids up. That's why I love group assignments, group activities. I'm even up for playing music in the background as long as the students are working to keep them moving, to keep them energized, to not let them, get off task and fall asleep. And all lessons can have that artistic element. Teachers, I see as I'm a paraprofessional, and I see them being creative all the time. We don't want to be boring. We don't want to see those kids falling asleep in class. And it's up to us to pay attention to their body language. If we have a lesson that's working, ask ourselves what's working. As a teacher, look at it in the mirror first. How can we improve these lessons? And have a successful learning environment in our classroom. And if some arts are working, we need to make sure we use all of the different kinds of arts. If songs and music is really working for me, try to get dance involved. Try to get creative activities with their hands involved, just so you appeal to different students all the time and get their blood pumping. Thank you very much for listening. It's been a very eye-opening class for me. I'm hopefully that I can use these tools to in my classroom in the future, and not be that boring teacher. Be someone who's energetic, who shows energy, and who gets those students moving. Thank you very much.